This is a general reading. This reading may resonate with you if you happen to have Leo in your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus dominant in your natal chart, or if you happen to be cross-watching for someone from the Leo nation. You might find some information in this reading that may be a part of your story. Understand that it's general, so not everything is going to resonate precisely to the T. I encourage you to listen to this reading with an open mind. Please avoid making any rash decisions based on a general reading. If you would like a read based on your own personal energy, I'm available for personal readings, and you can book on my website, which happens to be AngelicAscensionsTarot.com. We are always going to go over delicate topics, Leo Nation and Cross Watchers. Bear that in mind as you listen to this reading. Let's begin. Let's see what's playing out for you over the next 7 days. Before completion. It says uncertainty, doubt and hesitation, loss of faith, unstable conditions, be extra cautious, discord. Okay, so it looks like maybe you're feeling uncertain about something that you're approaching in your life right now. It looks like you're making a decision. Maybe you feel like something is on shaky ground. Some of you might feel like you're walking on eggshells. Just seems like you're uncertain about what's happening right now. Difficulty in the beginning. Growing pains, doubts and fears, awkwardness, becoming stronger, vulnerability and experience. You're having difficulty with something. Trying to see what this is. Like, we have contemplation. You've obviously faced some sort of obstacle in your life. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what is this that has you in this state of mind, because it looks like you're feeling very tearful these days. What I can see is that you got somebody in your energy that's being very, what am I trying to say, dishonest with you. Like there's a relationship in your life, Leo or Cross Watcher, that might be a little bit on shaky ground for some of you due to a third-party situation. So I don't know if you're uncertain about there being a third-party situation. You're being extra cautious. Yes, there's something that you're thinking about. You're really contemplating something. Okay. Overall, way of faith. Something this week, with whatever this happens to be, whatever the situation is that's just choppy and on shaky ground and uncertain for you, something is going to test your faith, or your faith recently has been tested. You're like evaluating whether or not you should stay or go, and it seems like you're not sure. It could be about a job, it could be about a relationship. It seems like it has something to do with a person. You've got the Empress. Spirit guides, what's going on here, Leo? I couldn't tell you face to face. So did somebody say something behind your back, Leo? Somebody couldn't tell you something face to face. It seems like you're confused. You're in a state of confusion about something. It seems like it's about a decision that you feel is difficult. A decision where it seems like you might be procrastinating on something as well. It seems like you're in a negative frame of mind. You're feeling a gamut of emotions. You're feeling maybe some guilt about some things. Maybe you're feeling shameful. You're feeling judged. You might be feeling a bit embarrassed, self-conscious. So it seems like you're not feeling like yourself. You're feeling extremely vulnerable. I think some of you are thinking about walking away, possibly from a Virgo. The Hermit shows up. The Lovers, Gemini. You got the Mercurians in the building. Virgo and Gemini back to back. Three of Swords. There's something that's going on behind your back, obviously. Someone can't seem to face you and tell you what it is that they may need to say. Or maybe this is you. Maybe there's something that you feel that you need to say to someone. And maybe, like I said, vulnerability might not be your thing. For some of you, this might have something to do with a child, because I do see children as being a part of your reading. Random side note, the letters E, the letter K, the letter G, first, middle, last, or nickname could be relevant in your situation. It looks like you're contemplating something. You're thinking about the future. Um, it looks like you wish that you had a glimpse into the future. So maybe that's what brings you to tarot. Because if I didn't, no, I didn't say that. Let's make it clear. Some of you read tarot, or you're going to a tarot reader, or this is what brings you to tarot, is to kind of figure out some things that are going on in your life. Figure out what is the best path in your life to maybe take. It seems like maybe you're spending a lot of time away from the family. Maybe you're spending a lot of time providing for the family, but not in the home with the family. Maybe there's a desire, Leo, a cross watcher, to have more fun with the family or with children in particular. Because some of you, maybe you feel like you're losing touch with a child. You got a King of Swords that just entered your reading, Aries. My mouth say Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but we're talking about air signs here: Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Obviously, there must be a fire sign. You must have had a heated situation with somebody. You're going back and forth. Maybe you're feeling a bit discouraged about things. Maybe something's going on with your vehicle these days, Leo. Yours or somebody around you. Maybe it's having some mechanical issues. Some of you Leos might be concerned about homelessness, concerned about the roof over your head. You got a Libra that just entered your reading, which we just talked about. Queen of Swords. So this Queen of Swords could no doubt be a Libra. But of course, we have Queen of Swords with the Lovers. So this is for sure Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Gemini is, I can't say it's the dominant energy. Somebody's a Libra, Virgo, possibly. But they're born on the cusp. Some of you may want to work things out with your child. There might be an apology that's coming your way, or there could definitely be an offer. It looks like for some of you, there's a breakup. So you're evaluating whether or not you should stay or go. It looks like you might be going back to someone at the same time. So I don't know if you're going back to this person or you're going back to someone else, which we're going to establish. You feel stuck. Seems like you're really distracting yourself this week, Leo. Maybe you feel like you just need a mental break from things. Something is going on with your house. You're concerned about your family, your household. You're concerned about financial stability. There's just a lot on your brain. You got each air sign, Aquarius, Libra, and now, yeah, you got Aquarius that just joined, and you got Leo. Some of you might have a decision to make between two people. I don't know. This kind of catches my eye. You see how they're holding umbrellas? And that reminds me of that Rihanna song, Under My Umbrella. Somebody's name might be Ella. Somebody's name might start with A. Maybe it's raining. Or maybe it just feels this way. Seems like you're going through an emotional storm. It seems like you're in la la land. Like it's hard for you to kind of concentrate. Some of you, maybe you're feeling vulnerable because you might feel like you're in a situation where you're dependent. Your dependence, maybe you're relying on other people. And that might be kind of messing with your state of mind. Okay, let's see what's going on. Somebody's been dishonest with you, Leo. Or chances are they might feel that you've been dishonest with them. Somebody that you broke up with, Leo, or cross-watcher. Somebody still feels very connected to you. Even though maybe there's been a breakup. And it seems that maybe somebody is thinking about you around this time. Maybe they feel discouraged that things can really be worked out. Promise you, it looks like you're going back and forth with someone. Now, if you're not going back and forth with a partner, could definitely be a family member, but I also feel that this could be a child. There might be a child that might feel particularly broken. Maybe there's a parent that kind of rules with an iron fist. Could possibly be, I mentioned to you, somebody feels judgmental, might feel a bit maybe attacked. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, somebody has an addiction. So maybe somebody is maybe when they're high and drunk, they act a certain way. The energy shifts, and maybe things are kind of cold and frigid. Yes, somebody feels like they're walking on ice in this situation. What happened though? I think we already established that. I did tell you that for some of you, there's friction between you, and especially if we're talking about a partner, this has everything to do with a third party. Somebody's feeling nervous about this. Somebody's feeling nervous that maybe somebody might leave to be with somebody else that they have a soul connection with. Okay, I'm seeing other things besides the situation. Spirit, what's going on with the Leo Nation? Why are they feeling like this? What's going on? Well, your spirit guides will say they're being very clear about it. Leo, they said it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Something has become toxic. It has become redundant. There's no reciprocity. And it seems like someone has made a pattern out of this. So someone has made this a habit, this third party situation. It seems like you're wondering if the person that you're maybe questioning is trustworthy. I know it says the person you're asking about is trustworthy. Maybe they are. But in some instances, I think this is a question mark for you. You're wondering, is the person that you're dealing with, are they even the slightest bit trustworthy? Obviously, by the context of the reading, there's been dishonesty. So I think that's a question mark for you. You're wondering if someone is trustworthy. I think that there's somebody in your situation that does have anxiety. Maybe somebody's having anxiety attacks. But like I said, somebody's walking on eggshells in the situation, not sure what the situation has coming up. I'm sorry. Yes, like somebody is uncertain about what's going to happen next. It's as if somebody feels like there's no guarantees about what's going to take place. Temper your criticism. So that's what this is. You might feel heavily criticized by your partner or whomever. Like I said, this could even be a child that might feel very criticized by an elder in their life, an older sibling possibly, definitely a parental figure. Whatever the case, it just seems like a relationship has become very rocky. And the person that you're dealing with, Leo, maybe interesting. And I always say this, Virgo will always, it never fit, and Libra will always come up in your reading. Of course, these are cusp signs. Leo and Virgo are cusped. So it would make sense. Libra and Virgo are cusp signs. I think you want to work it out with someone, don't you? You do. But I'm not clear who you want to work it out with. You want to work it out with somebody that you have a soul tie with. So somebody that's in this third party situation, somebody might get dropped. And maybe somebody doesn't have the nerve to really tell somebody face to face that they want out of the situation. Like I told you at the beginning of the reading, somebody's evaluating whether or not they should stay or go in this situation. Now let's make it clear at this point, if being the key word here, if some of you are involved in a third party situation, all parties are aware that there's a third party. There's somebody was dishonest about that before, but now it looks like everyone involved is aware. And I think that the person that you're dealing with, they're playing it safe. They're keeping an emotional distance. Maybe just all the time. Like this is possibly your usual interaction with this person. I think you might be dealing with someone, Leo or cross-watcher, that likes to sleep around. And right about now, because of the friction that's going on and how thick this friction is, somebody is starting to feel like maybe you're just vastly just too different to really realistically make this work. So trust and believe. There's a secret relationship that somebody is having. Now, this secret relationship has everything to do with physical cheating. So somebody has crossed the line, and this has turned into a whole cheating scenario. Like it's not. This is. Let me make it clear. This is not like a. I'm trying to say like mental cheating. This is physical cheating. Like, but they could still have an emotional attachment to this person. Anyway, somebody is looking back on a situation. I mentioned to you there's some guilt. Somebody is looking back wishing that they had treated someone better. What can't you tell them face to face though, Leo? So many things remind me of you. Some of you, you're absent from this person. You're not in the same vicinity as them. You're not around them. You don't see them in your day-to-day. Like I said, this could be a co-parenting situation. It could be a child that may not feel like they see their parent that often. But I definitely feel like somebody feels very reminded of someone. We both know I am not the one for you. So I think maybe you're coming to terms with the fact that maybe you did have something with someone, a very close, special bond, and now it just seems like things are kind of cold. So, Leo, a cross-watcher, I feel that for some of you, there's a breakup. And I feel like there's a lot of texting going back and forth. There could even be someone kind of looking for information online. That's interesting, online. I'm trying to like spy on somebody, see what they're up to. So I think that's what's going on. You're having conflicts. For some of you, this doesn't sound the slightest bit familiar because you're not having conflict with someone, but some of you, because you're linked to a third-party situation, not necessarily. This isn't. Some of you, it's not always physical cheating. Because you got someone that's reminded of you, like somebody could be daydreaming of you, and this could be how you're linked to a third-party situation. For some of you, if I'm not being clear, somebody's thinking about you, even though they're with someone else. They're involved with someone, but they can't get someone else out of their system. So this might be someone thinking about you, maybe wanting to get in contact with you, Leo or cross-watcher, but maybe, I don't know, why they're not sure that they should. I think you might have bad blood with this person, like maybe you just don't have the best history with this individual. Okay. Some of you have a smoking addiction. Random side note, and maybe you're maybe feeling like it's time to break that addiction. Seems like an addiction might be getting in the way of something. Okay. So are they going to come and say something to you? I'm so thoroughly confused. Maybe you might decide to be friends with this person, or for some of you, Leos or cross-watchers, a friendship could possibly be restored. So maybe you have a soul tie with a friend. Maybe your friend is going through something kind of heavy. And maybe your friend might be reaching out to you. Maybe you're not going through this. Maybe your friend is. They may be looking to you for advice, Leo or cross-watcher, for something that they're going through. This has been going on for a minute. You've had cycles of this situation. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. Let's talk about that. Because I definitely see something going on with magic. Not all of you is this a terrible, like baneful magic, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to bring calamity to someone's life. Some of you, I do see that. No doubt about it. However, it feels like there's something that you're trying to bring into existence on a 3D. So it feels like some of you, you might be lighting candles for something in particular. For others of you, I think somebody could be lighting candles on your situation to create a separation. But I think, to be honest, what this is that there's something in your life. We talked about that. You're uncertain about something. You're having a lot of doubts about what the future holds. Like you're having a hard time making a decision. And sorry, this just caught my eye. Illuminate. So if something is kind of hidden from you or you feel like you don't see the answer, something will be illuminated. Spirit is definitely putting something into your awareness. But again, we're talking about the moon's magic. We just had the new moon in Virgo, if I'm not mistaken. So again, maybe you did some candle work on that day. I'll let you know if this is you and you're doing this to precisely to shift your situation and not bring harm to someone. Your spirit guides are saying, yeah, there's going to be a shift that will occur unless it already has. Because I do see Leo or cross watcher where if there is something that you're trying to, like I said, bring into the 3D, you got some good news that's coming in. It looks like you're going to have a positive outcome to something here. Especially if some of you have a legal situation, because I think that some of you do, especially if it's pending. I will say, I think that some of you are concerned about homelessness. I know I mentioned that, so we're going to loop right back to that. I think some of you might be having an issue with your landlord. Some of you could possibly be taking your landlord to court. Some of you are concerned about possibly losing your home. Or some of you right now, maybe you don't really have a steady place to live. Maybe that's the obstacle. Let's run it back. Obstacles. Oh, it's interesting. The family is here. So it seems like maybe you're not just going through something, maybe your family is. Somebody's pregnant, Leo. Somebody could be finding out that they're pregnant. There could be news of pregnancy around you. Let's see what's going on with the landlord situation. Some of you might be bringing your employer to court. Maybe you're suing your employer. Some of you, this legal situation is obviously a divorce, where somebody might be going to talk to a lawyer or to go and take care of some paperwork at the court or whatever. Somebody might be filing for divorce. Like somebody may have said it, maybe it was said in arguments, and some of you it's not a legal divorce. Like you're not married to someone, but you cohabitate with them. This is like a separation where someone is making this official. They might be getting their own place, type of thing. Yeah, somebody is dissolving a marriage is what this feels like. Again, it's not a marriage, then it's definitely a relationship. What's going on with this landlord, this court situation, your landlord? Yeah, something is pending. You're waiting for the outcome to something. Or for some of you, there's somebody that's a distance away from you that might be going through this. If somebody's feeling frustrated about a legal situation, maybe feeling a little bit hopeless, I definitely see someone going through some struggles. So I think that there might be some paperwork that you could possibly be filing in court, Leo. Maybe somebody dropped some papers on you, especially about this living situation. I think you might be very surprised, Leo or cross watcher, about the outcome to something that is getting ready to take place on a legal level. For some of you, random, I know this is going to sound extremely random, but I'm going to put it out there. What am I trying to say? The fruit, the pear, P-E-A-R. That fruit might be relevant in some sort of way. So we might live in a rural or architectural. I can't speak today. I guess Spirit wants me to say architectural, but I am trying to say agricultural. You mean live near farms is what I'm trying to say. Or you live near like you get what I'm trying to say, like a rural area. Anyway, like I said, there might be a little bit of a delay when it comes to this legal situation. So I mentioned to you it's pending. Something might be like prolonged as far as how, like it might go on for a minute, this pending situation. So some of you, you're waiting for an outcome to a legal situation. You're gonna have to wait, it looks like. However, as I mentioned to you, I see something working out in a positive way. It looks like you got some good news, or you get some encouraging information, where at the beginning of something that may have happened, it may have been kind of unexpected. You've gone through some difficulties with something here. Maybe you just entered a lease, possibly, or you just purchased a home. It just seems like it's hard for you to keep your head above water financially. Like to the point that maybe it seems like some of you are working, but it's hard to like put away money for the future. Your children or a child, whether this is your own child, this could be your family member, might need something. Like there's some sort of necessity that maybe a child needs, and maybe you're concerned about providing this necessity. Somebody smokes weed. Someone's name is Danny, by the way. Well, your spirit guides are saying somebody moving back in. So some of you got to put out of your place, or some of you, the situation is pending. You're not sure if you're going to be having to leave your place. I don't think some of you are going to have to. You might be moving back in, okay? So maybe your living situation was on shaky ground. Yes? Now it looks like you might be, some of you might be leaving though. Some of you, you're leaving a situation very clearly because it looks like there's a contract that's ending. You could possibly be moving back in maybe with your family, with your children, this sort of thing. Somebody's coming back is what I'm trying to say. So if you haven't talked to somebody in a minute, someone in your situation or someone close to you, like a friend or a family member, maybe even an ex for some of you, is going through something. That says Blair, but as soon as my eyes laid on it, it looked like it said liar. Well, yeah, let's talk about it. Somebody fits it. Somebody can work. The shoe fits in the situation. You see what I mean? Yeah, it seems like it's difficult to afford your place. So it seems like on some level you might feel, Leo or crosswatcher, that you've hit rock bottom. And now you're entering into the unknown. You're not sure how something is going to pan out. It seems like something has you feeling sad. Moonlight. Some of you, your moon sign is possibly Leo. Or you work with the moon, this sort of thing. Yeah, it seems like it's kind of hard to balance your income coming apart. This is what's going on with the relationship. It seems like something is unraveling, but like I mentioned to you, it's the holes in somebody's story. It's coming apart. Somebody put up a facade, Leo or cross watcher, and it seems like even though this person couldn't tell you face to face, they didn't have the decency to tell you to your face. You already know. You're already seeing the writing on the wall, basically. So I think some of you are feeling hurt over the fact that maybe somebody is leaving to move back with maybe an ex, and maybe somebody ghosted you. Maybe you're trying to communicate with them, and they don't quite get back to you. Or somebody's resistant about getting back to you. There's for sure Virgo here. Financially, it does. It feels like you're stuck in the mud. You're not sure how, like I said, you feel stuck in some sort of way. Like you feel like you're sinking. I think this is the case financially. Let's see what's going on with your work situation, Leo. Feel trampled by someone at work. It seems like maybe you feel kind of trapped. I feel like somebody's trying to trick you. I mentioned to you, some of you, you're bringing your landlord to court. experiencing some sort of obstacle. Something about work might be frustrating you. Some of you are having to balance home and professional life because some of you, maybe you have kids. You have a child. So possibly, child care might be an issue for you. Like it's hard for you to afford child care. Maybe they're going back to school. I don't know, Leo. It just seems like something is going on here as far as like parent and child situation. Oh, I didn't talk about that. I feel like there's a parent that may want to mend a relationship with a child. Whether or not this is a young child or this is you, an adult. You could possibly be mending something on your own. Maybe undoing the damage that was done in your childhood. Definitely feels like you're praying about something. If you happen to be a praying person, then this is likely your spirit guide saying pray about it. Yeah. I think they're confirming that your prayers have been answered. Whatever this is, as I mentioned to you at the beginning of the reading, that you tried to bring into the 3D, it's materializing. And like I mentioned to you, there's a shift that's taking place at work. You come on. Let's talk about it. It's just coming up all over your reading. Somebody is being deceptive. Something in a situation, whether in whatever capacity, if it's like this could even be something that's going on social media, something that you might be like looking at in your phone, because it definitely feels like you're distracting yourself. Like you spending an excessive amount of time on social media. Something that someone is saying does not add up. Okay, at work for some of you. This might be where the cheating is. Someone may be hooking up with somebody that they work with or they go to school with. Other people know what's going on. Leo, there's gossip about this. Some of you, maybe this is your family members. Maybe they don't like the person that you're dealing with. Or maybe they know some things that you don't know, Leo. Maybe you feel like there's somebody close to you that you considered a confidant or a friend, and you're like, wow, you couldn't tell. You sat on that information and you didn't tell me. Something might have you pissed off. We're talking about work, though, right? Let's get back to that. Once again, the moon. Okay. Some of you work in healthcare. Leo. Are you having aspiration to? There's definitely something going on with your emotions. Maybe you're feeling very emotional at work. You might be wearing your heart on your sleeve when you go to work, okay? Because it seems like it's written all over your face that you're going through something. And maybe you have a very aggressive boss. Maybe your boss is coming down on your head type of thing. Some of you, maybe you're the boss. Maybe you have a lot of pressure on you to get things right. But the thing that I'm trying to say is whatever is going on at home, it seems like you're not leaving that at home. And I'm not minimizing that. I'm not saying that it's easy to kind of separate the two. However, I'm just making it a point. It seems Kitty, I've had him for 4 years. And this is the only time he just started doing this. He never did this in previous times. But anyway, I think you have, there's something that maybe this is a back and forth with somebody that you're having, that you're dealing with at work. Okay, maybe somebody is lying on you. Somebody is saying something to you about you or whatever that's not true. Perhaps you're in on the gossip, Leo or cross watcher. The thing is, other people are sitting back entertained by whatever this is that's going on. Like it's the whole ish show, right? That somebody is watching. And yeah, it seems like you're going through it. It just seems like there's a lot of pressure coming to you from every direction. The left side, you got some issues, you got some obstacles. On the right side, you're having financial situations, relationship issues. Yes, but we're going to look at this and we're going to see what Spirit has for you as far as solutions to this. What I will tell you is that somebody might be possibly giving you the evil eye. Somebody is jealous of something that you're doing. Leo cross watcher. Let's see who you are at work. Why are people bent out of shape about you? Some of you do work online. Yep. Some of you do. The celebrity. Maybe you don't work online, but it seems like something about you is just very bold. You command a lot of attention. People are very drawn to you. But like I said, especially if that's the case where you do something online. Okay, it just seems like you're the center of attention for whatever reason. You could be a public figure is what I'm trying to say. I think you're very inspiring. People might feel that you're very inspiring, Leo. Maybe very charismatic. Maybe that's a good persona that you put on. Maybe it's not a persona at all. Maybe that's just who you are. But it seems like these days, something has you feeling a bit insecure. I think it is. Something is ending here. Some of you, it's a job. Maybe it's the end of a contract here, and you're feeling like it's time to move on to something else. Oh, that's what I see. You got this card here that says shift. Maybe there's a shift change here. Maybe some of you could be switched over to a different shift. Maybe some of you work overnight. Because it seems like you're not getting any sleep. Which leads me to believe that either you're worried or, like I said, maybe you work a night shift or whatever. Yeah, so let's talk about it, right? I mentioned to you, somebody's giving you the evil eye. And the thing is, Leo or crosswatcher, I think you are completely aware of who this is. Now, all of you is in the workplace. Some of you, this evil eye situation has something to do with this third party. Somebody can't stand your guts because they feel like you're trying to steal their partner away. Which might not even be the case. I think somebody might be mistaken. Hey, DS, you said good morning? Good morning to you. It's nighttime here. Okay. Let's see. Spirit, what is it that you have? You're concerned about debt. You're about to pay off some debt, Leo. Some of you are musicians. Let's see what's going on with your money. You got some money that's coming through. Some of you might be very weak. And there might be something that you might be paying off or be paying into something, especially a vehicle. For some of you, this could be the gift of money. This could be somebody lending you a hand or gifting you some money. Is it your birthday, Virgo? Some of you are dealing with a Virgo, or you are Virgos, like Virgo Leo cusp, or your birthday would have passed already. You're Virgo Leo, but some of you, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Are you on trial? We're talking about money, right? Some of you, you're selling a home. Or you work in real estate. You might be making a profit. Random side note, you might be receiving a package. Maybe from the delivery driver. I think you're really focused on a problem. And something that's causing you a lot of stress. Some of you, the stress is with family. What you don't see, because you might just be kind of emotional this week. And with this emotion for you, it seems like it brings discouragement. Because it seems like maybe something has been going on for a while. I think that you're about to get over a particular challenge, right? We talked about there being a shift in your situation, which I think is getting ready to happen. For some of you, this has already begun. For others of you, this occurs over the next 7 days. It does seem like there's some sort of action the Spirit is guiding you to take in the matter, Leo. So there's something that Spirit is having you to do. Anyway, I think there's an increase in your money. Either there's an increase, or as I mentioned to you, someone is coming to help you with something. Random side note. Some of you play an instrument, you sing, you dance, you're a performer, you have a very creative mind, maybe you write music. You're looking for the answers outside of yourself. Your guides are saying, look within. You've already been given the answer to whatever this is that you need. The next step is to trust yourself to make the right choice or choices in your current circumstance. Spirit guides, with regard to finances for Leo. Promise you, there's a shift in your situation. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. There's some sort of a blessing that you've called out to the universe for. It's coming through. Leo or cross watcher, that's the shift to your situation. Your guides are saying, listen, it's as if your spirit guides are saying they've got a message for you, Leo. With regard to Leo's job, your guides are saying pay attention to the details. There might be a lot of clarity that Spirit is trying to provide to you in your day-to-day life. Oh my God. You guys are saying with regard to your work, important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. For some of you, you're out of work. And this is what's causing you to be in a financial bind, or you've been out of work for a while. And now you're trying to get back on your feet and regain your momentum. Maybe there's been some difficulty in the beginning, right? We talked about this. You've been looking for a job. There's been a bit of difficulty here. Now it seems like things become a bit easier. So whatever was an obstacle for you before, maybe you've been questioning if you're on the right path, and your guides are telling you that you are. Now it seems like that's what the shift brings in for you, new opportunities. When it comes to relationships in Leo's life, spirit guides, what information do you want to share with us? Cycles and rhythms, honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. Something is going to take you there emotionally. It's going to be an emotional week for you as it pertains to what you're going through and kind of processing what you're feeling. So your guides are saying, welcome in that energy. Welcome in the fact that you might have to kind of have that cry, a really good cry. And maybe you might feel like you don't like emotions, or you're not comfortable with your emotions, but something, as I mentioned to you, this week is taking you there, Leo or cross watcher. It's a part of the shift. Because it seems like maybe you've kind of like decided that you're not going to deal with your emotions, that maybe it's too painful to really look deep into the root cause of things. Something this week, as I mentioned, is taking you on a deeper level to really see what is it, what's going on within that's creating this outward situation. You're just getting started, so have patience with yourself in the process and do not give up. Maybe at times it feels like you want to. You just want to throw in the towel. You might feel like life is just lifing too hard. And at times maybe you feel like this is just this earth. You might feel like it's a difficult place to be. Oh, okay. As soon as I part the deck. Some of you, I mentioned to you, you are spiritual. I think you work with deities. Let's talk about it. Let's rewind, because I mentioned to you, if you've been doing some sort of spiritual work, trust and believe. That's what brings about the shift in your situation. We talked about prayer. That's what brings the shift. If you don't believe in prayer, disregard. Sure, guys. Anything else for the Leo Nation for the next 7 days? Some of you have a very deep connection with animals. And yeah, I do feel like you're at a crossroads with your career. You might be deciding if this is the path that you're going to continue to walk when it comes to your career. If it's time to make a shift when it comes to that. This week, I definitely feel like your spirit guides are encouraging you to detox yourself. They want you to restore yourself. Maybe they want you to get some sleep. It seems like you're very behind on some sleep and some very important downloads. This week, Leo, your spirit guides say stand your ground. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence-building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it. And you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. Something this week is going to cause you to have to stand up for yourself. Stand your ground. It seems like somebody is maybe trying to shift you, coerce you into something that maybe you don't want to do. Somebody could possibly be trying to dissuade you into something, like dissuade you away from something. Or like I said, persuade you into doing something that, anyway, stand your ground. Hello from heaven. You've had someone from the afterlife that maybe has passed on. Leo, maybe this is why you're going through it emotionally. This could be why you're feeling sad. This could possibly be, there might be some reminders of somebody that passed away. Maybe it's somebody's death date, birthday. Your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show you how much they love you and to prove they're with you at this time, especially because it seems like what you're going through, at this particular time might be particularly heavy. So your loved ones in spirit are definitely gathering around you. There was just something that I saw or something that I wanted to say, and it slipped my mind. One last card, spirit guides. Oh, random side note, I remember. You might want to tidy up your house. So it looks like there might be somebody that you weren't expecting to arrive on your doorstep. Somebody might be showing up unannounced, this type of thing. You might want to have your house ready, have it clean, if that's your message. Spirit guides, Leo. The advice for Leo Nation. Embrace your life purpose. I'm guiding you toward your divine life purpose. What makes your heart joyful is what you're meant to be doing. I mentioned to you, there's a shift that's taking place. So this shift might be taking you to your purpose. Especially, like I said, if there's been a job loss or, it's something just odd and unexpected is happening with your job, and there's, you feel like your job is on shaky ground. You don't understand what's going on. Something's leading you to your purpose. Deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect before moving forward. Your guides are saying that they're giving you deeper insights about things, that this isn't something that you must search outside of yourself to find the answers to. They're telling you go within, meditate, ground, so that you can hear the details. Your spirit guides are giving you a detailed plan about how to get something taken care of or how to get through something that you might view as an obstacle in your situation. Spirit comes in to give you this clarity. And it does feel like, even though you might be going through a heavy time right now, you guys are saying you're going to start coming back to life. Like you're going to start to feel like yourself again. But for some reason, Leo or Crosswatcher, it just seems like either you or somebody around you is just going through it. Like life be life, and it's one of those weeks. Leo, this concludes your 7-day forecast with Angelic Ascensions. If you'd like to book a personal, the way to do so would be to head over to my website, which happens to be AngelicAscensionsTarot.com. Thank you, Leo, and Crosswatchers for tuning in. Have a blessed, beautiful, productive week. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, Leo Nation. I'm out.